Hey guys, so today, as you have probably read by the title already, I have a little bit of an announcement that greatly affects this channel. This is kind of a different announcement, so I can only ask that you stick around for a couple seconds, couple minutes maybe, and yeah, if you got time. If not, completely understand. For anybody who's followed my channel, subscribed, all that stuff, might be kind of nice for you guys to stick around and listen. First and foremost, I can honestly say this has been a long week. It's been a long and tiring week. Tiring week. Obviously, and I don't know, it's daytime. I don't know how well you can tell the lamp back here. I'm looking in the viewfinder and my windows, because it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it's really bright, so I don't know how well you can actually see it. If you're from Iowa or have heard anything like that, it wasn't from our department or even anywhere near close. But we had a line of duty death, a firefighter out in eastern Iowa by an explosion. His funeral was actually today. And so it's been kind of a long week of a lot of stuff that we've talked about, like this last week in training. It happened a week ago on Friday. So yesterday was officially a week that he's been passed. And actually there is another firefighter who's in pretty rough shape. Survived the explosion, but he's in pretty rough shape. So this has been kind of a long week of realization. But that's not what this announcement's about. So this is part of the reason. My light, I actually rigged this up like I've got a lamp that literally would not otherwise be here, and I didn't have any other good reason, like any good setup, and like right below it is a vent. So I'm like, crap, I can't really put anything right on top of it because I'm blocking a vent. So I've actually had this light on all throughout the night, 24/7. Kind of our nationwide, statewide type of thing for morning. So yeah, it's been kind of a long week, and had some other things happen. Anyway, so the reason why I'm making this video is to be really kind of blunt about it. I'll be blunt and then I'll explain. So being blunt, I've been thinking about this for the past couple of months, and especially in the last couple weeks, and I've decided to kind of pull back from this channel, pull back on my activity, and just kind of, to be honest, not really upload a whole lot of stuff. To be clear, I am not quitting YouTube. I'm still going to do stuff in the future. I still have every bit of an intention to post stuff. So you're not going to just see like cold turkey nothing on this channel. It's just the fact that now there's not going to be nearly as much. So what I'm actually doing is I'm starting a second channel. And when I say a second one, that channel is actually off of a completely different address, like a completely different email address. It's a completely different account. But I'm starting that one. Before I get too far into it, because I know some of you might be going, well, if you're quitting the one, then why are you doing a second one? A lot of people on YouTube, they start second ones, second channels and other channels, multiple ones. Maybe for the pay aspect of it, because it's that many more subscribers and all that stuff. And most of the time, if they're popular enough that they are making money off of YouTube and they are able to make that a full-time job, they can afford to make the new channel, because everybody who watches their current channel is going to head on over to their new channel. Also, I'm very tired. Had a very early morning. Working for doing sorry, excuse me. Had an early morning, working a little bit at the fire station, helping out with some things. So essentially, to go into it, that's the blunt. Now, if you are interested in knowing why, or just curious, even if you realize that, okay, well, it doesn't affect me a whole lot. You click on the video and you watch my cover, and you're thinking, well, okay, it doesn't really affect me. If you're just curious, keep on watching. Otherwise, thanks for checking this out. And links in the description to the second one, or the new one. So the reason why I did this, about a year ago, I think it's been about a year ago, maybe not, maybe less. Anyway, I had gotten, I guess, my activity went skyrocketing, because obviously the same camera that I'm using right now, I started using it. And by the way, I don't know, I'm using the old channel that I used to use for all the drum covers, so I don't know how well this microphone is doing. All I see is a little thing on the, basically showing how hot the mic is and how loud it is and the gain. All I'm seeing is I'm getting a green bar showing boom, So I'm not even going to know this until I edit it and do all that, how it turned out. So I apologize in advance. So the reason why I'm making this decision, first and foremost, I have been thinking about this for quite a while. Not a long time. We're talking like the idea itself sparked into my mind maybe a couple months ago. And then more recently, within the past few weeks, it's definitely been something where I really thought about it. And the thing is first and foremost, I'm a huge believer that a lot of times whenever we make difficult decisions and we make the right decision, we feel a lot of peace about that decision. And I don't know how religious you guys are. I believe that it's, basically God giving you that feeling of making the right decision. Other people, if you're less religious, it's your gut feeling. And you feel good about making the purchase. Like a new car, right? If you decide to make a purchase on a new car and you bought the right car, you have a good gut feeling about it. Everything goes smooth, but you feel peace. This has been kind of a semi-difficult decision. But now after kind of having everything, I feel a lot of peace about it. I've felt incredible peace. So whenever I started this channel, I really started bumping up the uploads and all that and doing covers. Obviously I was doing them weekly, and then eventually I realized, I needed to bump it down to buy it, every other week. So I had more time to work on every video. But as time grew on, it became less of, okay, I don't have the time or the availability to do the covers, and now it's just, okay, I'm feeling pressured, and I was feeling pressured to do them. And the thing is, the hardest thing is that the person that I was feeling the pressure from was myself. Nobody on the online community, none of you guys ever made me feel pressured, which I appreciate. I think you look on, and obviously they kind of do it to themselves, but you see a lot of those, like the full-time YouTubers, and it's almost like they have to feel the pressure from their fans, because their fans are like, oh, we want more videos, we want more videos. And it's like, I'm glad that you guys are not like that. So I appreciate that. But the thing that happened was I felt the pressure, and eventually it got to where it was so much like a job. Um, and a really smart guy with his business. They used to, and anybody who knows me personally will know probably who I'm talking about. Well, maybe, but he had somebody that he knew had a DJ business, and they were extremely close. They were basically, actually, I think they were family. I want to say they were, I think. And they did a DJ business, and they really enjoyed it. But they made a commitment early on that was like that was their side job, right? So that was like on the weekends, like they did high school dances, they did extra stuff. It was fun for them. And then they got out of it. They sold everything, and they got out of it. And I asked them once, or him one time, I said, why did you do that? Everything was good. I actually had one year where they were the DJ business that came in to do it, and then the next year it was a different guy, and he totally sucked. Or compared to, he really sucked. And he said, we made a commitment that this is enjoyable. And the second it becomes like work, we're done. And he goes, yeah, the money was great, but it was getting so much chaos around the whole entire operation that it became like work. And we weren't enjoying it as much. He goes, we would enjoy it whenever we got there and we saw all the kids having fun, all you guys just messing around being high school students. And it was great to see that in you guys. But it got too much like work. And he goes, that's what happens whenever you take something that you have a passion of and you push it to the edge. It feels like work. You don't have that passion behind it anymore. You feel burnt out, and then you feel like you don't want to do it at all. And he actually, still helps out with some sound stuff. And he said that's actually, what he really enjoys. And he goes, just helping out, doing stuff like that. And he goes, it's not like work anymore. He found his level of contentment. And that's what I realized I was feeling. I was feeling like it was a little bit of work. I won't say that I wasn't enjoying it, because I'm a drummer by my nature. Anybody who knows me can tell you that's just what I do. I've been told that I'm a pretty great drummer by people that I know. Yeah, I've actually had at least an offer to go out and do it professionally. I actually denied that offer. I passed it up, I should say, because it wasn't not wanting to do it. It's just I didn't feel like that was what I was supposed to do. So I passed that up. But I love playing. I don't think that'll ever stop. But I was feeling so pressured that it wasn't fun, or it wasn't as fun. I should say. I should clarify. It wasn't that it wasn't fun. It wasn't as fun. I didn't enjoy it as much. And so the thing that eventually happened was, actually, last week, I was about ready to do some recording. And I got home from work. That's the other thing is I had a job change, and I'm working at a place where I love the work. I love my job right now. But I work in the afternoons. And afternoons were later afternoons was whenever I would do my covers, and I work now. So it kind of got difficult on scheduling. But eventually, I had a night there where it's it was a Thursday night, and I was playing. I was scheduled to play for my church's worship team that week. And Thursday night was our practice. And I got home, and I was ready to get everything ready. I'm like, oh, crap, I got practice tonight, okay? Scratch doing a cover. And then I kind of had a dawn moment, right? And so I went to practice, did all that stuff. Well, then I realized, I'm like, I'm limited on time to practice the song I'm covering. I might only get one time to actually run through it to record. So really, I'm left with one time to record and maybe one extra time to practice it. Other than that, that's it. That's the time that I got. And I'm like, Thursday night we practice. Sunday morning we do a last minute rehearsal, go over finishing touches, and then boom, we do a service. And I'm like, maybe I need to look at this differently. So what I've decided is the second channel is actually going to be more of, it's going to kind of be the drum cam from my church. I've always had to do, whenever I did my covers, I never did drumless tracks. So I was always kind of competing with the drummer that was on the recording. At church, if it's any drums, it's loops. So I am the drums. And the thing that I looked at with that is it increased the quality of what I was recording because it wasn't mixing everything up. You were hearing the song. So I went ahead, hooked everything up that Sunday morning, ran through, practiced with a couple songs, kind of replayed it back. I'm like, oh, that sounds good. I can do this. It doesn't sound the best. Obviously, there's places where it could be better, but it sounds pretty good. And the thing is it's actually my in-ear mix. So before I go any further, it's gonna be down in the comments, or not in the comments, down in the description. I have it there. I'm figuring out, it should be just The Worship Drummer as the name of the channel. I don't know why, but it's coming up as the Worship Drummer of Millennials. And that is because part of that is my email address. And so that's how Google set it up at first. And then I got on there and I'm like, no, I just want the name to be The Worship Drummer. So I don't know exactly how it's going to come up. You guys might have to let me know. I uploaded a video and it has the new name. But when I go to view it, like you guys would, it pops up that, on the bottom where you can subscribe, that it shows the Worship Drummer of Millennials. So I'm not sure if it's 100% working right, but that is the second channel. No matter what it's called, that is the second channel. And that one is actually going to be a lot nicer because I'm getting the practice time to do it. And the only thing that I can honestly say is you guys are going to have you're going to have a side view. Most of the time it's going to be a side view. The creative arts and outreach pastor, the worship pastor at my church, he believes in trying to make the least amount of distractions possible. So he does that because, him personally, he looks at it as, okay, you're here to worship, right? You're here to observe your way of worshiping. You're religious, right? If you're religious, you can probably understand me out there. We don't want to have really big distractions that pull people away from that. That's just his approach. I honestly like it. Makes everything really simple. Not hashtag basic. Just it makes it simple and it makes it sleek. Makes it nice. Down to having thousands of cables that are unneeded, turning into cable spaghetti, taking all those off the stage because it's clutter and it's distracting. That was nice, and that's what he did. Like his first or second week there was he cleaned up the stage and did all that. But that's the reason why it's kind of a different thing for me. But I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be enjoyable. The other thing is it's going to be a little bit not as consistent. It's not going to be as consistent because obviously it's going to be when I'm scheduled to play. And sometimes, like the reason why I recorded last Sunday, I recorded our January 6th service. I recorded that because we had enough songs that I'm like, oh, well, these are a couple of cool songs. I like these songs. These will go well on a recording. These will be really good to upload. So that was one of the reasons why I did it that way. So matter, if we have a week there where it's like I don't really see any songs that I like, then I'm not going to record. or if I don't think that somebody's going to look it up, then, yeah. Excuse me. So, that's one of those things where, I know, looking at some of my statistics, I've looked at some of the pages that YouTube has and that they go through for your statistics. I've looked under, like, what this channel is, and I know that all that stuff is probably going to drop like a rock. And to be honest, I've gotten to the point where I don't care. I don't care. Not in like a selfish, self-centered brat. I don't care. Like your teenage daughter complaining to you, I don't care. More like, I don't care because I'm not doing it for that reason. That makes it the pressure. That gives me the pressure. That gives me somebody saying, hey, you need to keep up your statistics. You need to keep up your numbers. So do this. The only thing that I will do is, we're talking every once in a while here. I realized that, yes, I have an obligation for the companies that I endorse to be able to push their products. No, unfortunately, quite a few of the products that I endorse, my church doesn't use. I endorse acoustic drums and acoustic cymbals. My church has all electric. All electronic. So, that's kind of difficult. But I just kind of realized that I was getting really burnt out. I'll continue to upload stuff. I don't want to do what is a complete and total joy for me and a passion, and that is drums. I don't want that to turn into work. If I get hired to do something, I actually, I have been hired for stuff in the past. I actually am going through something right now that I might be getting hired for. We'll have to see. But that's one of those things where, that's work. But work in the sense of doing something that you don't really like. So, feel free, if you are a person who is a subscriber, and you hit the bell on this channel, feel free, go down in the description. I'm going to have the link to that channel down there. And I appreciate it if you do so. Go check it out. I've got at least one video on there. And that's actually the first one that I recorded. So, check it out. If you don't want to, if you haven't seen too much stuff from me and you don't really care to, then so be it also. So, thank you guys so much. I hope that you really enjoy what I can come up with. I hope that you understand where I'm coming from and why I'm choosing to do what I am doing. So yeah, it's 3:30. I'm tired. My eyes are tired. I'm going to take a nap because I got a long night. I got a late night. And it snowed here. So this might be a night of call after call after call after call for whether it's accidents or anything else. Yeah. It's all good. I enjoy it. I love it. I really do. So, thanks again, guys, and I hope you have a good one.